Ada from Pause and Rock, and today we give a huge welcome back to Michael Catton. Michael, how are you?
I'm doing great. Good to see you again, Ada. Thank you. Thanks for
Yeah,
having me.
yeah, it's a pleasure. I mean, last time basically we laughed that it was out your first single, Ready for the Taking. Now that it's out, they basically you released almost other three single because the third, the last one, Brothers, is gonna be out this Friday. So let's focus about the first two, like Armageddon. I mean, like let's analyze the each one of these singles. Like, what about Armageddon? Because this is as because you have a beautiful video clip for that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. For the first single, Ready for the Taking, we had this kind of studio vibe. We had a guy in the studio filming us play together. So that kind of it was like a behind the scenes sort of thing. But for Armageddon again, I wanted to do a big band performance. So it's kind of like a selling point for the band to see the energy that we have as well. And I thought that was a great song to do a video for as well, because that song just has so much energy.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, that's a beautiful song as well. And the main core of the meaning of Armageddon, which is, I mean, in general.
Yeah, yeah. It's not as fun or uplifting as the first single was. This is a more serious topic in that it's about nuclear warfare and the kind of looming feeling of nuclear annihilation that could happen at any time. And now I was born in the 90s, and it's kind of how I imagine a lot of people felt under the Cold War, where you had USA and the USSR
Yeah.
constantly elevating the sense of fear. And I think that's something we're kind of experiencing now with all of
Wow.
these world leaders that kind of seem just like they're fucking crazy, and
Yeah.
that they just have one thing on their mind, and that's one upping the opponent.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
so and now we've got all of these nuclear weapons at our disposal. Um, there's kind of the feeling that at any time
Immune from
someone can
yeah.
push the button, and
Yeah,
that's the end of everything.
yeah.
So that's kind of what this song was about.
That's like a deep meaning, but if as well Armageddon can be like as well seen in a more like let's say daily way because a nuclear assault imminent can happen as well. You know, like in your daily life with some huge relationship, like it completely dissolve. It's a kind of an Armageddon
Absolutely.
life as well.
Yeah, I mean, you it can be interpreted in
Yeah,
many ways, just like a lot
yeah,
of songs, and it's kind of whatever the listener is feeling, they can project that onto a song, which I think is great. And yeah, that's right. That anybody's world in themselves can come crashing down due to something they're experiencing personally, rather than on a more global level.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, so and of course this single as well as a good it was well received for the audience from the audience, and then you released more like like more as well like let's say more easy song like Living Loving. This is a
yeah, exactly.
yeah
It's kind of a mixed bag on the album. It's a lot of 80s rock is about sex, or about about fun topics,
yeah
and the music itself is also fun. And so I've made sure that the music on my album is fun to listen to, and that you have a good time when listening to it.
yeah
But the topics can vary. So you've got Ready for the Taking, which is just about a relationship. You've got Armageddon again, which is a heavier topic
yeah
for a heavier song. And then we go back to something like Living Loving, which is just about living your life at full speed, basically just to avoid whatever troubles might be waiting for you when you slow down.
yeah
And I think that's probably something a lot of people can relate to as well, on a personal level. That
yeah of course
there's there are things that they don't want to handle. They don't want to look at it in the eye and have to take care of these problems they have personally. So you might just go full speed ahead with something else, and try and push these things back. But eventually you've got to slow down, and these things are going to catch up with you. So it's a bit of a, not a heavy topic, but a serious topic,
Phase.
but written about in a fun way.
Yeah. So it's kind of a lighten a little bit up the main topic. Put it like with a small and let's say with a smile, with a easy,
Exactly.
smooth,
Yeah.
way of reading it. Yeah, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
all
I,
this. Yeah.
yeah. Just I think that's important to, even though you're handling heavy topics, to kind of do it in a fun way and have a. It's a bit tongue in cheek. It's a bit cheeky. Like Armageddon again is also, it is that heavy topic, but it's written in a fun way. I think that
Yeah. And it's
Armageddon
catchy.
again.
And it's
Here
catchy.
we go again.
Yeah,
Another,
and it's catchy
and
as
it's
well.
catchy. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
here we go again. Another nuclear annihilation
Yeah.
on the brink.
Yeah, on the life or whatever. Yeah. And I was looking, just looking some news from you. I saw that you were like there was an article of you about you on Metal Hammer. It's Italian. I don't know if you ever read this article. They made an article about you on Metal Hammer in Italy. It's a pretty nice album about a debut album. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I will send you later. It's really nice.
Yeah, please do. I might not have
Yeah,
seen that
yeah.
one yet.
Yeah, it's really nice. And of
That's
course
always great
now,
when, yeah.
yeah, especially me, Metal Hammer, it's big, so come on. And
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
yeah, and this Friday there is gonna be Brother, the release.
Yeah.
So it's a heavier topic as well for us. I mean, at least for you. So what is about the song? If you want to talk, I mean, of course you want to talk about it, and especially as well, I noticed as well for what I can heard, the music is a little bit more like slow.
Yeah, it's a different one, this one. Now we've had three hard rockers, right? It's time to slow it down a bit and try something else. And Brother is a really personal song, and not too many of the songs on the album, they don't go that deep inside of me. It's all looking outwards, where Brother is very much looking inwards about the feelings that I've been through. And it's basically about being part of something, and losing that, and kind of feeling betrayed and having to find yourself,
Okay.
and stand up on your own 2 feet.
Yeah.
And that, I think, also came through in the music, that it's more melancholy. It expresses
Yeah.
some feelings of hurt.
Yeah, because of course, when you lose something like, like when you have, I don't know, it could be a friendship or something, you lose that part of you that you have grown with the person. Of course, you especially if it's a long friendship or something, you basically lost a part of yourself as well. So you have to stand up and build that part of you again, because like, wait, there's an empty space here. How do I feel it? So that,
yeah, that's it. That's exactly it.
It's really like challenging for you to write about it.
It is, yeah, and it's something that took a long time for me to process, and it's something that still hurts today. But I think getting these feelings expressed and written into a song, I think that was kind of a healing process.
Yeah. What is brave? I mean, it's brave of you. So it's like congratulations. It's not easy to put that on music, and
No, thank you, thanks.
It's not easy. And I mean, but let's go into the main topic. But first, to the main topic, I mean, we left each other. I mean, it was 6 months ago. I mean, 7 months ago.
It's about half a year ago. Yeah.
So what happened in all these months, apart from the release?
Well, I've just been preparing for these single releases. So we made the video for Armageddon again. We've been planning these new singles, trying to get some tour dates in the calendar.
Okay,
so a lot of kind of there
were
a few dates this year, and there should be a lot more next year.
That's cool.
So there's been a lot of behind the scenes work going on.
Yeah, so because in fact, if I'm not wrong, there is one confirmed in a festival. It's wait, I don't know the name. It's a Nevstad.
That's right. Yeah,
whatever.
Nestville metal festival. It's a town in Denmark here, Nestville.
Yeah, and because it's a kind of different genre. Because I saw one of the liner is the band Beast. which I know them.
Yep, some heavy shit.
Yeah, yes. So it's gonna be like, I mean, it's gonna be your first performance as Michael Catton in the stage.
Well, that's in, I think that's August next year. So there will be plenty of performances
Okay,
before
so
that.
there
That's,
will be some live prior to that.
oh yeah, absolutely.
That's
Absolutely. Yeah, the
cool.
album's coming out this November, so I
Because
can't
we
wait
have a lot
till
of
summer next year.
so it will be, I mean, for what you can say, of course, it will be something of more like European, spread in Europe, or more like in Denmark. I mean, just around.
Hopefully there'll be some European dates. I think the first thing we're going to do is fill up the calendar with some Danish venues, where I'm known here in Denmark, you know, slightly at least, and then hopefully we can spread to Europe.
That's cool. I mean, so slowly you're moving, and next time we will see you, I don't know, in the ferry to Sicily.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
I mean, why not? And I mean, so in November there is finally the release of your album, Point
Yeah,
of No Return. The title
yeah.
itself, it could be something good or something bad. It depends which way we see the point of no return. So, in your point of view, what is about this album? I mean, especially the title track, the title of the album.
Yeah. I mean, Point of No Return. It's a line that's taken from Armageddon again,
Okay.
but it's kind of turned into with a different meaning for the album, in that this album, well, if we go back to my time as lead singer in Tainted Lady,
Yeah.
that the band kind of went on a break at the in the middle of 2020, and so I was suddenly stood without any musical outlet for myself, because my band was suddenly on a break, and I didn't have anything else. And that's when I was approached by Soren Anderson, who plays guitar and produces the album, and I was also approached by the record label Mighty Music.
Yeah.
And they both wanted to do a project. Yeah, thanks Fernando for setting this up. And that kind of marked that was a very special point in my life and in my music career, as that was when I had to make a choice. Do I just give up now because my band kind of disintegrated, or do I go forward and try and do something on my own here? And that was, for me, the point of no return. That's like the turning point. If I go past this point, I have to keep on going, and that's what I've done, and that's how this album was born.
It's about. So and the lyrics in the tracks in a point of no return, there is space between different, I don't know, themes, point, I mean, subject, or there is a common line. They follow like a common line. I don't know, life experience.
Yeah, I don't think the lyrics have any common theme, apart from the fact that they've all come out of me. So it's all something that I've had a feeling for, and it could be personal, it could be it could be less personal, but I think the theme on the album is more musically rather than lyrically, in that I've taken all of these 80s rock inspirations that I've grown up with, especially in my teenage years, and kind of just compiled those into one album, and that's who I am as a musician.
Yeah.
And it's all these influences flow out of me, and that's the album that's been created. So I think
it's your
I guess you could call that a common theme of sorts.
But it's your essence as well, this album.
Exactly. Yeah, precisely. It's the essence of who I am as a musician.
So if we want to know who is Michael Catton, we just listen to the album and we can understand.
Absolutely. Yeah.
At least from the musical side, of course. And I mean, in this all the process, because of course we talk about the releasing of the singles, but in general the composing and the mastering of the album, how it happened. I mean, how long it takes. I just let's take for example 1 day of composing the album, mastering, a typical day. How was it?
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of different stages in the making of the album, and it all started a few years ago when me and Soren and a couple of other musicians got together and recorded 3 songs that we'd written just to see if it worked.
Yeah.
If we clicked. And then a while later, and we think it did click. We thought it sounded great. And a while later, then Soren called me up and said, I've got time in the studio. I've got 2 weeks in the studio in October that are free. Let's get in the studio then and record the album. And at that point, I was about 7 songs short, so I had a couple of months to write the rest of the album. And that's something I did with some back and forth ideas with Soren, and then me going into my brother Chris's studio, writing with him and recording all the demos for the album.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of
for the people that of course they don't know, there is as well your brother involved in this project.
Yeah, exactly. Chris, he's my brother. He has exactly the same taste in music as me.
That's cool.
And this was just a perfect opportunity to work together. So he plays keys on the album, and he's also a phenomenal singer and a good guitarist, great songwriter, producer. He does. I just sing. He does everything. And so we had a lot of late nights in his studio writing the songs and recording demos, and then in October we got in the studio, the proper studio, Medley studio with Soren, and did and recorded the album over about a 2-week period. And then after that we did.
It was already. Sorry? It was already ready 1 year ago, almost, basically.
Yeah, almost. Again, there were some things
of course,
that we didn't have time for. So a lot of the vocals and some of the guitar solos were done after that.
Let's say the structure was.
Yeah, that was absolutely finished in October last year.
So you're waiting like almost really a year for this moment. I mean, maybe more as well, but at least like it's kind of a huge day that will be the 10th of November, right?
10th of November, yeah. It's been a long wait.
My birthday. It's near my birthday.
Oh, well, consider it a birthday present.
Yeah, for sure. I mean it's because of course the genre, the influences, for the people that didn't see the previous interview we did, of course your main influences, they came from, like you said as well, from the 80s, like for example Keep Like Wing or something like that. Like, so of course that I will tag the interview so they can inform about your personal influences, but about, for example, the artwork. What about the artwork itself? I mean, there's a story behind the artwork, or is it just a simple artwork?
Yeah, there's definitely a story behind the artwork. Like a lot of my musical DNA, it comes from my time in Tainted Lady, which was like the first proper band I was in, and the first real music experiences I got, I feel. And I think both musically and lyrically, that's all something I've taken with me, like the attitude and the feeling that was in the music then. I've taken that with me. And another thing I've taken with me is the logo on my album. So it's like a circle with 3 with 3 exclamation marks. That's something we dreamed up in Tainted Lady, and it stems from a symbol from an ancient Druid religion or something. None of us were Druids or religious, but we just thought this symbol looked cool. And originally this symbol was upside down, so it was 3 dots, and then 3 lines coming from these dots downwards, and it symbolized I think the sun, and then coming from the sky was a pillar of creativity and of these. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was the symbol of the musicians and the bards of this ancient Druid stuff. And we thought that was cool, but we thought it was even cooler if we turned it around and it looked like 3 exclamation marks, because our music was aggressive and it kind of fit that symbol. And it's something we hid kind of discreetly on our album covers. So if you go and look at the Tainted Lady album covers of our 2 albums, if you look hard enough, you can find it on both. But I wanted to take that with me and take the ethos of Tainted Lady
Yeah.
with me on this album,
That's
and then
beautiful.
just throw this symbol in everyone's faces.
Yeah, that's beautiful because you are taking as well a little bit of this experience you had, like the influence as well, like
Yeah, 100%.
the time you spent in Tainted Lady shaped you in a kind of way. So if you are this
Definitely, yeah.
singer you are today, it's because as well for that period. But as well today, you grown up, you had your own as well influences with Michael Catton as well. I mean, just with the project. So it's a kind of reshaping again, I guess. So you're kind of
100%. Yeah. I've taken
evolve. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I've taken the experience and yeah, the experiences from Tainted Lady, but this is me. This is all the stuff that I want to write that didn't fit Tainted Lady.
Yeah.
This is 100% myself.
Yeah, and in the album, there is a particular order which you choose for the let's say for the tracks, the sequence of the tracks.
Yeah, it's kind of just what feels right. So you don't want to
Okay.
start with a slow song on a hard rock album, right? So we've got
Yeah.
a couple of the hard rock songs first, and then you can ease up with a ballad and kind of take the tempo out before you get it back in, right? So yeah, that's just the thinking behind that.
So that's basically for any releases. I mean, it will be that there will be of course the digital releases, but I guess the physical one too.
Yep, there'll be CDs and vinyls as well. Yeah,
which are limited for the people that
which are limited, yeah, to
300
copies or something. Yeah, so be sure to get your copy now.
Like now, like wait, I'm just gonna put it on live streaming.
Yeah, you put this on pause and pre-order the album, and we'll come back to this.
Yes, exactly. And where the people can get the copy? I mean, from your website reaching out to you, or I don't know, Mighty Music. I don't know who take care of it.
Yeah, on Mighty Music. So targetshop.dk, I think. You can it's on pre-order at the moment because it's obviously not released yet. And if you're lucky enough to see me in concert after the release, then everyone can of course buy physical copies there as well.
So there will be as well, even if the copy gets completely there will be no copy at all, no physical copy at all. At the festival, at concert festival, we will find some physical copy too. So
there should be, yeah.
They are limited for now, but they will be reissued.
Yeah, limited for now. If they're sold out at some point, we'll have a think about it.
yeah, of course. And I mean, just in general, I mean that would be really cool because you of course are releasing Brother, but before the release of the album there will be others released or just straightforward the album?
We got one more coming
with a video clip.
No video clip, just a digital single.
Okay, so like for warming up before the album release.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's 2 weeks before the album lands,
okay,
so you can really get ready
at the end of October, something like that.
End of October, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it's a fun one. It's a really fun one.
Okay, so basically you kind of fix, just like the mood. You started with Ready for the Taking, Armageddon, Living Loving, Brothers, and then just
we got to bring it up just before the album drops, right?
Bipolar.
Yeah, we can't have everyone crying just before the album comes out. We've got to have a fun hard rocker.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. And I think as well from Denmark, there is in Holland a good musician, which I don't know if you know him. His name is Ron Coolen. He's a really good guitarist, and there will be probably somewhere as well near Denmark and Holland. Ron Coolen with Kids and John. I should give you their contact because he's the singer of Kingdom Come.
Right, yeah, please do.
Yeah, I did an interview with him 3 hours in the night, so. So that would be as well, because if you meet up for a drink or something, who knows what can happen, because they are from there.
Yeah,
they are all the time there. But just moving a little bit to something more smoothly, I was thinking about some not weird question, but just question as well about you, and that we didn't cover up before. I was wondering if in your life there was someone that gave you one good advice for how to start to be a musician. So which one in this case, the best advice and the worst advice you received? We don't say the
Oh
name,
wow.
don't worry. We don't say the name.
It's hard to pinpoint a single piece of advice, because it's not like people say something and that turns on a light
Yeah, of
for you.
course.
At least not for me.
Yes.
But I've been under the wing of Soren Anderson for some years now, and I think he's been an excellent guide for me in the music world, because he's so experienced. He has a lot of he knows a lot of people, and he knows how the business works.
Yeah.
So I think Soren would have to probably be the person who's given me the best advice.
Best advice.
Yeah.
And you ever received one advice that you thought, what the fuck is that advice? It's really bad. It doesn't have to, I mean, or at least it doesn't fit me completely. I mean,
I might have. I'm trying to think if I received any terrible advice, but I
could be
can't
even
think
a
of any
funny
at the moment.
advice. Could be even a funny advice. Doesn't have to be always bad.
Yeah. I can't think of any at the moment. I'm sure that someone's told me something that made me laugh internally, at least, and not in their face. But
You're polite. Just to be
yeah, I'm too polite to laugh in front of them. I can't think of anything at the moment. I think I've generally been quite lucky with the people who have given me advice.
And instead, to your younger self, which advice would you give to, yeah,
To my younger self,
yeah, exactly. Like those inspirational video we see on the
yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah. Probably just to dream big, because as a
really,
teenager and in high school, playing with a high school band, the dream was always to play these big concerts in front of a crowd that knows your songs.
yes,
And at the time I was playing in my high school band, we were writing our own songs, and basically every concert we had was at the local bar in front of 20 of our high school friends. And they were great support, but that it's you never get above you're scared that you'll never get above that level.
yeah, of
And
course,
the experiences that I've had with Tainted Lady, and I know the experiences I'll have with my solo project, they just exceed anything that I thought I would accomplish as a teenager. And you always, as a teenage musician, dream of playing these huge shows, releasing your own album.
yeah, sure,
And that's something I've done.
sure,
And I think teenage me would just be mind blown at the things I've had the opportunity to do.
yeah,
So yeah, and to any teenage young musicians out there, just dream big and go for it.
yeah. And yeah, of course. I mean, and in your music, in all your music, which do you think, which aspect of your personality it's more express, it's most expressed in your music? Which side of your personality? Which side of your personality? Like, I don't know, the creative ones, the happiest, the deepest, funniest?
I think most of the music I write myself is very energetic, and it's upbeat and it's happy. And that's also a reflection of all of this 80s hard rock that I've listened to. It very much of it is feel good music. So Van Halen, Kiss. You're never sad when you're listening to Kiss, right? And I think that's something that shines through in the music that I make as well. It's very rarely a downer, and I think you can awake a lot of different emotions in people in different ways. But I do like that, for the most part at least, that it's something that makes you feel good when listening to it. And I think that's something that this album does.
Yes, and that's important as well in the music. And the fact that I was going to ask, of course, because of course we spoke sometimes about song to make the interview easier. If there is one song this time that you use for having, just let's say recharging, so for good vibes, and one song then you listen to maybe when you are in a sad mood or maybe more melancholic.
Yeah. Well, if we take the melancholic one first, because that one's a lot easier for me. I think maybe we talked about this in our previous interview, but Jeff Buckley for me is the most amazing singer,
Amazing.
and his album Grace is my favorite album of all time. And you could probably pick almost any song on the album and
Yeah,
feel a bit melancholic.
yeah,
But and he's very well known for his cover of Hallelujah,
yeah,
which is such an emotional song.
yeah.
But I think the one that really makes me feel emotions of sadness or melancholy
Yeah.
is Lover You Should Have Come Over. That very nearly brings a tear to my eye every time I hear it. So Jeff is definitely the guy to go to if you want that feeling.
Yeah. And was it about a good mood? If you want to pick
Yeah,
one
for a
song,
good mood.
yeah, one
Oh
song.
man,
I
that
think the first comes to your mind. It doesn't have to be
probably
your perfect, your favorite.
anything from Van Halen one.
Okay, okay.
I think I couldn't pick a particular song, but that album
Don't
just
worry.
makes you feel
Don't
great.
worry, because now we are going to planning your first tour. So how do we call this tour?
Well, it will probably just be the name of the album tour, so the Point of No Return tour.
Okay, so and we choose new bands that are out now to open for you. What band we choose? I mean, even genre. It doesn't have to be
Yeah,
hard rock, heavy metal. It could be even rap and I don't know, electronic. Could be
it's probably going to be hard rock. It's
okay.
probably going to be hard rock to get people in the right mood, right? But I mean, there are plenty of bands
Okay,
I'd
yeah.
like to play with, and I think having them warm up for me would be a spit in the face of them. So I think I should probably be warming up for them, which
For
is
them.
quite all right for me. But bands that I think bands that are still going strong. Obviously, well, my favorite band is Iron Maiden, and my absolute dream would be to go on tour and warm up for Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Um, so that would be one.
Yeah.
I think another band. I think slightly newer. I think the best band in the last 30 years is Rival Sons,
Okay.
and they might not have that.
You,
They don't have that 80s vibe, that's for sure.
yeah.
They're more kind of old school, stripped down.
Yeah.
But I think they are a phenomenal band, and I think playing with them would be
Okay.
absolutely amazing.
So we choose the band. We just choose the city, the first city. It's, you own the globe. Okay, so you own the globe. The first city. Where do we do the release party of the
You
album?
always come up with the most amazing games, Ada. I love it. I own the world. You're inflating my ego to dangerous levels here.
Just pick one city you want to do the release party.
It's the home of West Coast rock and roll, LA, Los
LA?
Angeles. Oh yeah.
Okay. Let's not pick a venue because it could be, let's say, in the beach, whatever. You on the wall, so you can choose wherever you want to play, even one song.
Yeah.
And let's pick. So we choose the opening party, and let's pick. Let's say, for make it easier, for country, for city, like for capital city, of course, spread it. So we are making this tour. It's a global tour. Okay, so we went to LA opening party. We have four left. We go where?
Okay. Well, I'm gonna if it's okay with you, I'll choose countries just so I don't
Okay, okay,
expose my poor
okay, of course.
geographical
You
knowledge
on the globe,
of
so
cities.
I can. You
Yeah,
have.
it's all mine anyway. I would love to play Brazil and
Okay,
South America in general, but
okay.
Brazil, I think,
Is that
and it's probably just because I'm
yeah,
influenced of like Rock in Rio, seeing
yeah, it's
Iron Maiden and
amazing.
Queen
Yes,
and Whitesnake.
yes.
That's just
The
they
big
are
one. Yeah,
absolutely nuts for heavy metal and hard rock in South America. So
yeah.
I think playing Rock in Rio in Brazil
Okay,
would be
yeah. So
phenomenal.
Brazil or South America?
Um, yeah. I'm from the UK and I'd love to play the UK.
Okay.
Exactly where I'm not sure.
Now let's
I
say
mean,
just in
obviously,
general countries.
yeah, cool. So
So
the UK or
left
England. Again, Japan.
Japan.
I have this romantic notion of what
Yeah,
Japan's like, and I've never been before, but I'd love to
yeah.
go. And again, Japan, especially in the 80s, were crazy for these rock
Yes,
bands.
exactly. Yeah,
Uh, it's weird how
Yeah.
like all these bands, they were huge
With
in the US,
drums
huge in
there.
Europe,
Yeah.
huge
Mr.
in
B.
Japan for some reason.
Yeah. And last
And
one, where we do an
last
ending
one.
party.
I'd love to come to Italy, Ada. I'll play Sicily. How's that?
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you. So we put it
Save
here
the best
in
till
my
last.
balcony.
Perfect.
Perfect. So as always, Michael, it's always a pleasure to do the interview with you because it's always funny. And you see, I just I didn't do so many tough questions, so that was easier at least. And you're the globe. That's good. I want really to thank you, and maybe we will do an interview after when there will be the tour announced. So we're gonna to talk.
You bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always great talking to you, Ada. And thanks for having me again.
It's a pleasure. See you soon then, and have a good rest of the evening. And thank you again, Michael.
Thanks.
And good luck with the album. Looking forward for this Friday to the people.
Awesome. Thanks.
Bye, Michael. Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.